Welcome, listeners, to an experiment in darkness, a journey into the heart of the unknown. Tonight I embark on a solitary adventure, a challenge to spend a night in total darkness, to confront the age-old question, do shadows truly come alive when the light fades? The concept of shadows coming alive, of darkness morphing into tangible entities, has been a staple of folklore and urban legends for centuries. A chilling narrative woven into the fabric of our collective imagination. From creepy campfire stories, whispered under the flickering glow of embers, to the terrifying visuals of horror movies, the idea of darkness taking on a life of its own has captivated our minds and sent shivers down our spines. There's something inherently unsettling about darkness, a primal fear that transcends logic and reason. It's not just about what we can't see, the absence of visual information, but about what our minds fill in with, the terrifying possibilities that lurk in the unseen. Our brains are wired to respond to potential threats, to anticipate danger, and when those threats are shrouded in darkness, our minds can go into overdrive, conjuring up all sorts of terrors that lurk just out of sight, waiting to pounce. This fear of the unknown, this primal anxiety about what lies beyond the veil of light, is what fuels our fascination with shadows. We understand on a rational level that they're simply the absence of light, projections of objects blocking illumination. But our minds, our imaginations, insist on giving them a life of their own, imbuing them with agency and malevolence. We see shapes and forms in the darkness, fleeting glimpses of figures that vanish as quickly as they appear, and our imagination runs wild with possibilities, weaving narratives of unseen entities and lurking dangers. And then there are the stories. Oh, the stories! Those tales whispered in hushed tones, passed down from friend to friend, or shared around crackling campfires. The ones about the dark figure lurking in the corner, its eyes glowing with an eerie intensity, watching and waiting. The ones about the shadow people, those elusive beings that come for you in the dead of night, their presence a chilling reminder of the unknown. They're often dismissed as mere fantasy, the products of overactive imaginations or sleep-deprived minds. But deep down, in the quiet corners of our consciousness, we wonder, what if? There are those who claim to have encountered animated shadows firsthand, those who speak of dark, twisted figures that move of their own accord, their movements fluid and unnatural, of whispering voices in the darkness, their words unintelligible yet menacing, and of an oppressive presence that watches and waits, its gaze burning into their souls. Some claim it's just their imagination, a trick of the mind, but others are convinced that they've stared into the face of something truly supernatural, something that defies explanation. Take, for example, the story of Sarah, a young woman who woke up one night to find a dark figure standing in her bedroom doorway, its form silhouetted against the faint moonlight filtering through the window. She said it was like nothing she'd ever seen before, tall, imposing, and completely silent, its presence radiating an aura of coldness and dread. It just stood there, watching her, its gaze unwavering, until she screamed, her voice a desperate cry in the stillness of the night, and it vanished into thin air, leaving behind only the lingering chill of its presence. She was so traumatized by the experience that she refused to sleep in her bedroom again, convinced that the shadow would return, its presence a constant threat. Or what about James, a truck driver who was driving home from work one night when he saw a shadowy figure dart across the road in front of him, its movements swift and erratic. He claimed it was like a dark, misty cloud that coalesced into a humanoid form, its features indistinct yet menacing, and then vanished just as quickly, dissolving into the darkness of the surrounding fields. He was shaken to his core, his hands trembling on the steering wheel, and never drove that route again, convinced that the shadow was waiting for him, lurking in the darkness. Then there are the stories of people who claim to have seen shadow people in their homes, lurking in the corners of their rooms, watching from the shadows of their hallways. Some have even reported being touched or pushed by these entities, their contact leaving behind unexplained bruises or scratches, physical manifestations of their unseen presence. But one story in particular stands out, a tale that chills the blood and challenges the boundaries of belief. The story of Emily, a young woman who woke up one night to find her entire room filled with shadowy figures, their forms shifting and swirling in the darkness. They were all around her, she said, watching and waiting, their presence suffocating, their silence deafening. She tried to scream, to cry out for help, but her voice was frozen in her throat, trapped by a paralyzing fear. She was paralyzed with terror, unable to move or escape, her body locked in a state of helpless dread. And then, just as suddenly as they appeared, the shadows vanished, leaving her shaken and confused, her mind reeling from the experience. Stories like these, tales of shadowy encounters and unexplained phenomena, leave us questioning reality, challenging our understanding of the world around us. Are they just the product of an overactive imagination, the figments of a sleep-deprived mind, or is there something more to it, something that defies explanation? Do shadows really come alive in the dead of night, their forms shifting and swirling in the darkness? Or is it just our minds playing tricks on us, weaving narratives from the mundane? As I sit here in the darkness, surrounded by the unknown, my senses heightened, my imagination running wild, I'm forced to confront my own fears and doubts, to grapple with the age-old question of what lurks beyond the veil of light. Do I really believe that shadows can come alive? That they can morph into tangible entities? Or am I just trying to scare myself, to create a narrative of fear in the stillness of the night? The answer, I think, lies in the stories we've shared tonight, in the collective experiences of those who have dared to venture into the darkness, to confront the unknown. Thanks for joining me on this spooky adventure into the world of shadowy encounters, a journey into the heart of darkness. If you have your own stories of shadow people or unexplained phenomena, be sure to share them in the comments below. Let's explore the shadows together. And if you're feeling brave, be sure to check out my other videos on unexplained mysteries and supernatural encounters, where we'll delve deeper into the realm of the unknown.